11 a.m. and it's time for another Crossroad Connection. As you can see, my setup is a little different this morning. I've got some special ladies that wanted to say hello to you.
Hi.
All right, so we're coming at you with a Crossroad Connection for Friday. You guys want to say anything else? All right, y'all go play. And so I'm at home today. Fridays are normally my day off. Of course, today I'll be working on finishing up my message for Sunday. So if you think about it and would be able to say a prayer for me today, I would certainly appreciate that as I'm working on the message. And I always appreciate the support and the prayers that I get from my church family when I get the opportunity to serve the Lord by trying to bring a message to His people. So I'm excited about that, but also a little stressed. And so that's what I'll be doing today. But as we think about worship, you're probably thinking, well, gee, Pastor Justin, you look a little different this morning. I've got on this nasty hoodie that my girls say always makes me smell like a dog. Well, there's a reason for that. These are my dog clothes, and so if most of you know, we've got a puppy back in January, February, and we've been having fun with her. But every morning I'll go out with her to feed her and just kind of walk her, give her some time to play before I get ready for work. And so today, since I'm home, I got the chance to do that just a little while ago, and so I've still got my dog clothes on. But there's a specific reason why I wear what I wear to play with my pup. And so one of the things that I wear is I wear some blue jeans. Of course, we've had her since the winter started, and it's been cold outside. She's an outside dog. We kept her inside there in the beginning when it was really cold at night, but we wanted her to get used to being outside because we knew being the house we were in, she would have to be an outside dog, and we wanted her to be ready to do that. So I had jeans, and I had this hoodie, not just to keep me warm, but because our pup loves to nip. I don't like it. We're trying to train her out of it, but that's just the way it is. And so I cover up because when I get out there and I'm rolling around in the grass with her, she'll get a hold of me. And so really quickly, I figured out that I needed some protective clothing. And so these have sort of been dubbed my dog clothes. I wear them whenever I go out and play with Ruby. And it got me thinking this morning how we do have certain things that we wear for certain things. Like if you go to work, I'm sure you wear a particular type of clothes to work. Maybe you wear a uniform. Thinking of our nurses are wearing scrubs and things like that to protect themselves, face masks, that kind of thing. So probably wherever you work, you wear a particular kind of clothes. Maybe when you go to church, you wear a certain type of clothing. And it got me thinking about the fact that we think through how we approach our day. When I go out to play with my puppy, I prepare to go out and play with her. And the clothes that I put on for a reason. And also because I can get these nasty and dirty, and that's okay. I just wear them day after day, and when they get smelling too bad, then I wash them. But I thought about worship and how right now things are different as we worship sort of in a different setting. And, the reality is, no matter what our setting was, we always needed to prepare ourselves for worship. And when I'm talking about preparing ourselves for worship, I'm talking about specifically our Sunday morning service. Of course, we know worship is something that God asks us to do every day. But as I thought about how we prepare, I've got to be honest with you, the live streams, watching the service on TV has been different. The times that we've pre-recorded and I've been able to be home with my family on Sunday morning to worship together, it has been interesting to say the least. And it got me thinking about how we approach the live streams. And I wonder for you, if you might just sound off in the comments as you're watching this, let me know how the worship has gone for you. Governor Cooper has just kind of come out giving us a little bit of an extension on the stay at home. He's given us an idea of how they think they're going to be able to phase out this stay at home order that we're under right now. But suffice it to say, we're looking at several more weeks of not being able to gather. And while it's frustrating, and I understand that there are a lot of people that are frustrated about and reopening and things like that, certainly gathering and not being able to gather in times of a pandemic makes sense. But it causes us to have to rethink how we are approaching the things that we're doing. And so let me encourage you with something that I've talked to Candace about, and we're going to try to do that Sunday. We're going to get up and get ready just like we would on any normal Sunday. And we're going to attend church in our Sunday clothes, showered and all that good stuff, having eaten breakfast, to try to get us in a frame of mind to be prepared for worship. Because what I have found is when we come in here, and it's been good to just kind of be able to eat breakfast while we're watching the service and, putting our forks down long enough to sing the songs along with the TV. But watching it on the TV is definitely different. And it's caused us to have to really try harder to worship. And I don't know if you're feeling the same thing, but that's just sort of the situation that we were in. So I wanted to encourage you this morning about considering how you're preparing for what we are doing on Sunday mornings. It's so different than what we're used to, and we're having to rethink so many things. And so I would encourage you, however you approach Sunday morning, approach it intentionally. Have some preparation. My girls and I were recently watching The Prince of Egypt Disney animated film, and I had forgotten how good that was. But there's the first time Moses sort of interacts with God is the burning bush. And as soon as I saw the burning bush, I said, watch this, Allie. God's going to tell Moses he's got to do something because he is in God's presence. And of course, in Exodus 3:5, we see that interaction. Moses is there at the burning bush, and God says to him, do not come near. Take the sandals off your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground. And so he had to prepare to be in the presence of God. There was something that he had to do differently to. And then I was reminded of Exodus 19 when God is preparing to give Moses and the people of Israel the law and the Ten Commandments. He tells Moses to tell the people in Exodus chapter 19 verses 10 and 11 to consecrate them today and tomorrow. He says, let them wash their garments and be ready for the third day. For on the third day, the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. And so he's saying, hey, there's something different about being in my presence and approaching my presence. Now, thank the Lord that the work that Jesus did on the cross tore down the separation between us and God, and we can fellowship with God. We can be in God's presence right where we are now as New Testament believers, as New Covenant believers, because of what Jesus did, and he tore down the separation between us and God. But still, there is something to be said for being mindful of approaching God and approaching our worship of God. And so we're going to do that as a family on Sunday, just to try to help us to be in the mindset that we need to be, to have our hearts where our hearts need to be, so that we are prepared for worship. And so I encourage you to do the same. It's different, and we understand it's different. And so let's try to approach it as similarly as we can to help us to be ready and to help us to really be able to worship God, as Jesus says in, I believe it's John chapter 4, in spirit and in truth. Amen. And so I just wanted to encourage you with that today. As I had on my dog clothes this morning, let's be prepared, and let's think about how we are approaching our Bible study, our time with the Lord, especially in these online stream, live stream type services. A couple of things I want to mention to you. Ignite Randolph finished last night. Thought it was an awesome opportunity to just hear from Craig Church and to really hear the gospel laid out clearly each and every night. And so I would encourage you to share those videos. They are still there on the Ignite Randolph Facebook page and their YouTube channel. Share those on whatever social media you have, or if you would like to email those to an unchurched friend, share those videos. We're praying that God would do a mighty work in the messages that he laid out, that the Lord would allow us as Crossroad Baptist Church to have an opportunity to follow up with folks who have made decisions based on those videos. And so I appreciate you doing that. The second thing I want to mention to you is Saturday, tomorrow, we are doing the Love Life prayer walk at the abortion clinic in Greensboro. Now, because of the stay-at-home order, it's going to be online, and so I will be attending the prayer with a few pastors, but we're inviting our churches to get online. You can get on Facebook, and I'll be sending the links for that out via Facebook and Realm and all the different communication avenues that we use to do that. But if you would get online at 9 a.m., you're going to find on their page a live stream that's got some worship. They're going to be doing some worship Saturday morning at 9 a.m. And then at 9:30, they're going to transition over to a time of prayer. And it's going to be something that you can watch. It'll be a Zoom meeting, but you're going to be watching it through a live stream. So you'll be able to watch it on YouTube. You'll be able to watch it on Facebook. And what it is, it's going to be pastors and representatives from Love Life at every one of the abortion clinics that we have a presence at. So there's one in Charlotte and in Raleigh, Greensboro, New York, and there may be others. But all of those folks are going to be able to report to you what's going on at their individual locations. And so I'll be there in Greensboro, and they'll be instructing us as to how we can pray together for abortion. And so I've told Love Life that our church will be participating, and so I want to remind you about that so that our church will participate. You, as a church, as Crossroads Baptist Church, can help us participate by getting up Saturday morning, 9 a.m., and getting online, getting your family around the laptops or computers or TVs or whatever you've got that you can air those live streams and participate in that prayer time together. It's an awesome organization. They do so much, and I'm really excited about giving you guys a chance to be involved in what they do, even if it is a little different. And so encourage you again to participate in that with us. And then lastly, just let me say, look forward to seeing you or being seen by you on Sunday as we air our worship service. We love you. We're praying for you, and we hope to see you real soon. Have a blessed weekend.